Temple Grandin. It is a great pleasure for me to have you here today. We are welcoming the 4th Autism International Conference organized by Liga Colombiana de Autismo. So for us, it's very important to have you here due to your experience of a lifetime, and you are a history of inspiration for the autism community in the world. So we would like to know you and to make us the great pleasure to welcome this event for us.
Well, hi, I'm Temple Grandin, professor of animal science at Colorado State University. And it's really good here to do the introduction. And the thing that I want parents and teachers to work on is helping these children to develop their strengths. Find out what the child's good at and then develop it. It could be art. It could be fixing mechanical things such as motorcycles. It could be mathematics and computer programming. Or maybe they're a word thinker and they'd be very good at sales, for example. We've got to find the thing that the individual's good at and build up that area of strength.
Thank you very much. And in that line, we would like to know some recommendations that you would like to give to the people. For example, what recommendations will you give to the families that are starting this journey with their children with autism?
If you have a young child, 2 and 3 years old, it's very important to start teaching speech, teaching turn taking, the ability to take turns at games, and teaching basic skills, bathing, putting on your clothes, brushing your teeth. And some people are just really good teachers and they know how to engage these children and teach that. And so it's very important that if you're working with young kids, to have many hours of one-to-one teaching with an effective teacher who again gets speech, the ability to take turns, the basic skills, and a really good teacher, the child's going to like going to therapy.
We are also having in this event a lot of people with autism that are actually participating as a conference in the event. What recommendations will you give to them, like to the young people with autism that are on our conference at this time?
One of the things is we need to be learning working skills. Working skills are very different than academic and school skills. Now, I have spent almost 50 years now in the cattle industry, and I have worked with many talented people on building food processing plants. And I've worked with people who were autistic that had patents, big factories, people that designed drawings for factories that were on the spectrum. Elon Musk has autism. You see, this is one end of the spectrum, but the ones that are successful learned how to work at an early age. Parents need to make their child do chores. And then as soon as the child is maybe 10 years old, maybe a volunteer job at a church where they learn how to do a task outside the home on schedule, and then start out helping out in the local shop when they're maybe a little older. So they learn working skills before they graduate from school. That's really important.
Thank you. And also here we have the health ministry, the education ministry, and other social civil organizations. What are those recommendations that we could give them, like to the community in general, about autism?
Well, some autistic people have sensory sensitivity, like maybe a loud hairdryer bothers them, or a car horn, some loud, sudden sound. Now, sometimes a child can learn to tolerate a sound if they control it, where they beep the car horn, they turn on the vacuum cleaner or the hairdryer or some other thing like this. But sensory issues are real. And there's sometimes some accommodations that need to be made. Some people need to have brakes, some types of lighting, flicker. So you'd have to change maybe the type of lighting.
Also, we are doing this conference because we think it's important, the awareness, and we are in the month of the autism awareness topic. So we would like to know what would you say about the awareness on autism on this conference?
I think it's really good that you're having a conference. Now, when young children are very small, 2 and 3, I looked very severe when I was a very young child. And it's very important to get very early educational learning. Do not let these kids spend all day playing video games. I'm seeing too many of them getting addicted to video games, and they're not learning how to work. But there's been some successes with replacing video games with fixing cars, fixing motorcycles, because then they find out that these motors and these vehicles are much more interesting than video games. You have to replace it with something that's interesting. I don't think working in the grocery shop will do it, but some fixing vehicles, there's been some good successes on getting young adults off of video games with mechanics.
And also, it is important for us some recommendations in public policies for our country, Colombia. And we know that in United States, you have been like working a lot on the public policy. What recommendations could you make us online to be like doing or driving in the best way the public policy for the people with autism and their families?
Well, most good things start with parents being activists. That's how years ago autism services got started in the US, parents doing it. Also, you have permission to translate my book the way I see it. I think some of this may already be in Spanish. You have permission to translate that. And autism is a big spectrum. It goes from Elon Musk, you all know who Elon Musk is, the SpaceX man, from Elon Musk and Tesla to somebody who never learns to dress themselves. And it all has the same name, which I think is actually bad. They've actually changed the diagnostic category. So you have Elon Musk and somebody who can't put their clothes on with the same label. This actually is a big problem. But there's a lot of autistic kids that might be brilliant in music. Well, then you build up their ability in music. I was good at art, and my mother encouraged me to do lots of different kinds of art. Find something the kid's good at, build on it, broaden it, so they do lots of different kinds of art.
Okay, and finally, I would like to thank you for this space and for let us know your voice to this conference. We are very happy and excited to have you here. And I would like you to, I don't know, like give us a final message from this, for this conference that it's just beginning with your intervention.
I want to emphasize, do not get locked into the label. You need to look at the whole child. Because I've worked in industry for a long time. I still work in it. And I worked with people that owned businesses, very, very good businesses. And they would have been autistic kids. So do not get locked into the label. You always have to look at the whole child.
Thank you very much, Temple. It is a pleasure, and I'm very grateful to be here with you. And I invite all the people that is joining us today and these 3 days on the conference to learn a lot and to ask a lot of questions from all the people that we have invited in the conference.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm hope you have a wonderful conference, and I think it's excellent that the parents here and the teachers are getting together and having a conference where people can share ideas, find out where resources are. And there's many resources in the neighborhood. I talk about jobs. I know in Colombia that you have a lot of little small shops, and they would be perfect places for some of these kids when they're like 12 years old to start learning how to help out at the vegetable store, learning work skills. There's a lot of people willing to help out, people that make crafts, get the kid involved in that.
That's the idea, and that's the main goal for this conference on these days that we are hosting. Yes.
Okay,
Speaking
well, I'm
about,
gonna say goodbye, and it's great to be here on this short video.
thank you, Temple. Have a nice day.
I will. Okay, yeah, bye.